Ladies, I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is General Hospital Edition. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Today is May the 4th, 2023. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 10. Actually, these last few episodes of General Hospital have been 10s for me. We start off by seeing um I can't think of his name. It starts with an H. But anyway, he has roughed Robert up in that room. So he's trying to take Robert, and Diane and Jordan come through and they say, you're not taking him anywhere. And if you have any doubts about it, you know, we can talk to the federal courts and everything. Otherwise, I suggest you call your boss and you take those handcuffs off DA Scorpio. And so then Diane started Diane, and right, and Robert said, "Oh, I love when she do this." And so Jordan tells him, you can't just come in and do this. So he takes the handcuffs off Robert, and that's pretty much it with them, y'all. Then we go over here with Michael, TJ, and Carly, and Michael is acting like he didn't know Willow could possibly die. Like he's like, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" There's nothing you can do. TJ says, "I don't really want to talk with Dr. Randolph." He was like, "But she's not here, so just tell me." And then he apologizes and TJ says, "Don't apologize. I get it." Because he loves Willow too. So he's like, "I know this is stressful." He said, "But Michael, you got to make the decision. Do you want to take her home and put her on hospice until she transitions? Because if you've ever had a loved one on hospice, you know exactly what that is." He said, "Or do you want to keep her here, and as any issue arises, we'll be able to deal with that." And so they tell Michael, "You got to make this decision." And he's like, "Oh my God, it's too stressful. I can't do it." So he has to leave or whatever. Then he goes in and he talks to Willow, because she was, she wakes up and she tells him Michael, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're here." And so he tells her, he was like, you know, Drew is looking for Liesel, but until they come back, the only thing we can do is try to fight. She's like, "I want to be at home and you can just bring me back to the hospital every day." He's like, "Willow, that's not going to work. I can bring Amelia and Wiley here as much as possible, but that's not going to work. That's not going to be how we were able to do it." And she she's just like, she don't want to be in the hospital. She wants to spend her last days at home. But Michael says, "Listen, we're doing everything we can to try to keep you alive, but you got to fight too. It's on you now." And she says, "Well, if Drew is risking his life, then I'm going to continue to fight." So she's going to stay in the hospital. Good girl. So then we see Sonny and Nina is a nervous wreck, child, because my girl went and called that SEC, and Sonny trying to figure out who did it. Now, right now, everyone thinks it's Ned, including Sonny. Excuse me, because he's just like, "Man, I can't believe Ned did this, but if I find out it was him, oh, he better watch his back." And so Nina, hearing all this, she's like, "Sonny, why don't we go away?" And he said, "You said you didn't want to go away." She said, "Well, I changed my mind now." So he hit up Dex and he tell Dex, "Come on, let's get me a plane so we can go ahead and go, right?" So Dex is over there in Jocelyn's dorm room, because where else he gonna take her? And he's over there with her, and she's just like, "Oh, I know this was supposed to be distracting me, but it's not." And then he's distracted, and she said, "Do you feel bad about what's going on with Sonny? Are you having second thoughts?" He said, "Well, no, I came to do my job. I did my job, and so I gave the information to Michael, and it's up to him on what he does with that now." And Jocelyn's like, "Michael isn't going to do anything right now because he's too busy worried about Willow." And Dick says, "So that means I have to always look with my, over my shoulder to know if Sonny knows the truth or whatever." And she says, "You see something good in Sonny that Michael and I used to see." I said, "Michael still sees it when he's not being bullheaded, but I really don't care about Jocelyn either way it goes." So when Sonny calls and he tells him he needs him, he's like, "Oh my gosh, could it be because he knows?" And she says, I don't know, but I doubt it," or whatever, because Sonny asking for a flight to paradise. So he was like, "No, if he knew something, he would probably, I would disappear. So I don't think so," or whatever. Let's move on. So then we see that Sonny and Nina are still sitting down eating, and Dex comes in and he tells them the flight is ready, but and they were like, "What's the but?" And he tells them about Willow, because Jocelyn had got a call when she was with Dex that told her, "Get to the hospital, it's Willow." And so when he tells them that, Sonny's like, "Cancel the flight, they're going to the hospital." So then we see Jocelyn has made it to the hospital, and Carly was telling TJ that Jocelyn's tough, but she's terrified, and she says, "I am terrified," but they all say they're gonna be strong for Michael and Willow. So then Nina and Carly, I forgot to wait a minute. I didn't do that. So then Nina and excuse me, Jocelyn and Carly talk, and they both are like, I can't believe Ned did this. And Jocelyn said, but I don't think he thought that they were gonna come during the wedding. And she said, no, but still he did this. But then Carly surprisingly said, but it's my fault because I'm the one who put this all I'm the one. Michael and Drew begged me not to call to invest, but I had to do it. I tried to help. And so it's my fault. All this is going on right now, and it stressed out Willow and everything. But Josh is telling her, don't be that way and whatnot, y'all. Anyway, so around this time, Jocelyn gets a call from Dix, and he tells her Sonny and them are on the way, but it's too late. They're already there. So then they just show a scene with Sonny, Carly, Nina, Jocelyn, and that's it. Let's move on. So then we see that Curtis tells Spencer get Trina to safety, and she's like, "What? You're not coming?" He says, "No, I can't come." And he tells them who's all there. He was like Laura, Drew, who else is it? Laura, Drew, yeah, Laura and Drew. And so he was like, well, what are you gonna do? And then he's like, I gotta go and save them. And he tells him, I need you to get Trina out of here. And so Trina's like, she doesn't want Curtis to leave because she's like, we just getting to know each other. What if something happens to you? It was a touching moment, and if Curtis could act a little better, it would have been real touching. I'm sorry, we're not gonna pretend that okay. But anyways, she says there's a phone, and I could call. He says, "Yeah, go get the phone and call for backup." And she says, "Okay." And she tells him be safe. And before he leaves, she tries to tell him that she loves him, but he says, "I know, kiddo." And so but he does tell Spencer, "You protect her. I'm counting on you to keep her safe." And he said, "I promise I will." So then Spencer tells Jordan. Spencer tells Trina, "Let's go." And Trina was like, "Oh, I forgot. The baby needs another blanket." I said, "One of y'all take off your coats and give it to the baby. Get out of here. Y'all stressing me out, little Trina. You be stressing me out." And so she said, "I'm gonna be 2 minutes. You can time me." So, but in her little 2 minutes, the nanny came through and she was holding Spencer, about to call for backup. Because she knew Spencer wasn't gonna fight with the baby in his arms, and so she about to call for backup and stuff. But luckily, Trina came back through and knocked her out. And she said, 2 minutes. I said, get out of here. So then Spencer tied the woman up in the states room, and he said, "We got to get out of here." Now they hear a thump, 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 and they said, "I don't know what that is, but we got to get out of here." And Trina said, "Wait, I promise I would call for backup." I said, "Trina, my God, call on the way." And so she called for backup with Jordan, and she telling Jordan, listen, there is people, we're still on the Hunter Star. And Jordan said, "Get off the Hunter Star now. There's bombs coming. There's drones coming to bomb it. You got to go." So then Valentine is still hallucinating with Helena. Let me tell you something. I love me some Helena. The hair, the makeup, the outfit, ugh, classic. And so she telling him, "Come on down here with me." Don't nobody want to go and be with you. You better do her like Willow did Harmony and say no thanks. But anyways, he said there's only one person that I trust, that I know have my best intentions at heart, and it ain't you. So anyways, then we go down here and we see Victor, Laura, Liesel, and Drew. And so Laura had the little vial, right? And she said, "I'm gonna drop it." And Victor was like, "You better not drop it." And she said, "I'm gonna drop it if you don't." And they said, "What about Willow? You know you won't Liesel alive for Willow." She said, "Well, one sacrifice is better than the whole world." I said, "Well, hey." And Drew said, "Yeah, we're willing to make that. We're willing to kill ourselves for this." And so Lisa tried to tell her something, but Laura couldn't hear it, and she drops it. And Victor said, "Too bad for you, and it needs sunlight, UV rays to do it." So it did nothing, child. He said, "Kill him." Or whatever, and he about to leave with Lisa, and then there's a bomb go off, and Anna come through and explodes the door, and he said, "Kill that English bee," and and they like, "What?" And Victor's like, "I'm out." And so when Victor is fighting and stuff, Laura gets the case with the vials on it, but unfortunately Victor was there to stop her or whatever. So because Victor is there to stop her, she wasn't able to get it all. So then, but he's that's when he says kill Anna, and Victor leaves with Liesel, right? And y'all, I'm sorry, for some reason this is keeping in the pictures the wrong way. But anyways, so that's when I said that's when Anna burst in. So when Anna burst in, they're whooping up on Anna, but then they start getting the upper hand or whatever. But by this time, Victor is gone. So when Victor leaves, he's like, I'm getting away. And then the next thing you know, Holly is there, and Holly is like, not so fast. Why she had that gun so close to her body when she was pointing at him? I said, okay, sis. So then when she stops him there, right? And then they tell so then because Victor is gone, it is Laura, Anna, Curtis and Drew. And so because Drew comes in and excuse me, Curtis comes in and he helps them fight because they was about to kill Anna, but he comes in and helps them fight. And Laura got grazed because Victor shot her, but it wasn't a real shot, so he just grazed her arm. And so they tell her, she's like, "Where's Valentine?" This is Anna, and they said he's in the Victor used him as a guinea pig, and she was like, "Oh my God!" So he's in isolation, so she leaves and she runs to isolation, right? So then Valentine was telling Helena, there's only one woman that I trust with my life, and he sees Anna. And that's it with them, y'all. So then we see Curtis, Laura, and Drew, and he said, Drew was like, "Where is Victor?" And they said he took off down that path, go after him. So he's like, "All right, cool, I'm gonna go after him." So then Curtis said, "Come on, Laura, we got to get out of here. We got to get on the boat to the plane. Let's get off this island." And she says, "Wait," because the computer started going. And she said, "I know that machine from 40 years ago. Someone Miko's child." And so I guess Laura gonna figure out another part of this mystery. And y'all, that was General Hospital today. Sorry about these pictures. I don't know why some of the background took off because the background was off of all of them until I came up into this part of it, and all of a sudden some of them had the background still on them. I don't know, child. But anyways, I will see you tomorrow for the final episode of the week of What Happened on the Soaps General Hospital edition. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.